Hello students, welcome to a new class of skill education. Today we are going to continue with digital documentation unit 3. Today we are going to do part 3 of this particular unit. In today's class we are going to understand how to create a table in OpenOffice Writer. So what is a table? A table is basically an intersection of a row and a column, and these rows and columns together form cells. So each and every column or a row, it contains some data. Now what are the three methods in which we can create a table? First method is to click on the table menu and the insert option. Second one is to use the table icon on the standard toolbar, and the third method is using the shortcut key of Control plus F12. So these are the three methods in which we can create tables in a writer. After you use any of the three methods, you have to specify the total number of columns and rows in the dialog box, and so in this way we can create a table. So let us understand it practically.
The easiest way to insert a table in a writer document is to click on the standard toolbar and click on the table option. Here, using your mouse, you can decide how many columns and rows you want as a table. Just move your cursor across the blocks and leave it. That many columns and rows get inserted in your writer document. So here these are the columns. A column can be selected just by placing your cursor just above the column, and a arrow mark will be displayed. This helps you to select a particular column. Similarly, selecting a particular row of the table, we can just simply click on the left side of the row and the entire row gets selected with a single click. Now when my table is active, a small little toolbar which appears called as the table toolbar, from which very commonly used commands of a table can be used using this particular toolbar. Alternatively, you can also click on the table menu and click on the various options available. Now let us look at the second method of creating a table. The second method is by using the table menu. Click on table, insert table, that is Control plus F12, that also shortcut key can be used, and here you can give a name to the table. Let us take timetable. And I can select how many rows and columns. So in our timetable, if I want say 9 or 10 columns, 10 columns, because one for the periods and one for the recess, and let us take for the 5 days. So we will need 6 columns. Now this way you can select the number of columns and the number of rows. There is also another option called as auto format, with the help of which there are certain default formatting options which are available. If you want to select any of them, you can select. So let me click on this and click on OK. Now click on this and your column, your table gets selected. Okay, now the particular format which I used is not so apt for our this, so I can also go back to the table and click on auto format and go back to the default one. Okay, this way, this is a better one. So now here you can write down the days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the periods 1, 2, etc. Like this I can do, and use the tab key to move around the table. So this is the way the two methods in which tables can be inserted into a writer document. So when my table is selected and I click inside the table, then automatically this particular toolbar will appear, which helps me to work on my table. And as I told you, alternatively I can click on the table bar and get all the same options available from here.
Now, after we have inserted a table using any of the methods, sometimes it so happens that we may need to insert more rows or columns in a table, or sometimes if we do not need it, we may need to even delete certain rows and columns. So let us practically understand how to insert or delete rows and columns in an existing table.
After a table is created, in case we want to insert or delete new rows and columns, the method to do it is there are two ways of doing it. Click on suppose I want to insert one more row below, click here, and from here, that is from your toolbar, you can insert row. So automatically the row gets inserted below the place of the cursor position. So wherever the cursor is here, there, then the row gets inserted there. So click over here, and when I click on this, a row gets deleted below the current position. Similarly for the column, suppose I want a column, one more column here, I want one more column below this, I click on column, insert column, and it is inserted. So let's take, I select this column and I highlight it or give a particular background color to it so I can understand. Suppose if I want to insert one more column, I can click on insert column and it gets inserted after it to the right hand side. This is one method of inserting a column. Now the next method, or the other method of doing it, is from the table bar. Table, insert, row. Now when I click on this, it will give me the option whether I want to insert, how many rows I want to insert, and also whether you want it before or after the current position. So if I click on before, then the 2 or 3, 4 rows which I said, or 3 rows or 2 rows will get inserted above the current position. And if the other way around, if I want it below, then I can again insert rows. The number of rows are 2 or 3, and this is after or before. Whichever I want, I can insert or delete it. So here this will be more visible if I click somewhere. Suppose I want to insert over here. My cursor is in this position. I say table, insert, rows, and suppose I say 2 rows I want to insert before. Then I can click, and so before my Wednesday, 2, 3 rows, whatever I said, will be inserted. Now what about deleting the rows and columns? Similar goes with the column also. So click on the place where you want to. You can insert a column before or after. So, and also you can select the number of rows and columns that you want to insert. Suppose I say before, then before my cursor position, it gets inserted. So I said 3 rows, 3 columns, and before my cursor position. So this way I can insert the columns or the rows. Another method, now the next thing is deleting. So if I want, I'll select this, and if I click on delete rows, columns, then that many columns get deleted. Or if I want individually, I want to do that also I can do, or else I can select the entire column, say suppose 2 here, and from here delete the rows, that also we can do. Or the other method is click on table, delete, and row. So whichever is the cursor position, and that particular row gets deleted. Delete and the rows. So I can do multiple selecting of the particular columns and rows as I showed you by clicking here. So here I'll go, these 2 columns I do not want, I can select it and click on table, delete, row, columns. Oh, the whole table got deleted because I had selected so I'm just undoing it here. Yeah, this I wanted the column. So I'll say table, delete, the 2 columns, they go away. And suppose if I want to delete these 2, only this single row, select that row, click on table, delete, and the row. So this way I can insert and delete rows and columns, and also I can insert and delete, and also if I want the entire table, so click on this particular a diagonal mark which helps me to select the entire table, and then I can click on table and delete the entire table. So the whole table which I created will get deleted in a step. So click here, and here we can do the formattings whichever we want to from this particular thing, that is inserting, deleting, and inserting rows, inserting columns, deleting rows, and deleting columns. So this is the way of doing it.
Important part of a table is formatting of a table is to split a table or merge a table, and also to split and merge cells inside a table, columns and rows inside a table. So we are going to now look at how to split and merge the tables, or split and merge cells in a table.
Now here I have a table with 4 columns: name, age, address, and phone number. if I want to split this particular column, here I am just trying to, for your better understanding, I am just reducing the size of this column and increasing this. Yeah. Now this particular column, I am selecting this and I want to split this particular column into two different columns, that is one for mobile number and for landline number. So I want to split this particular column into two. So what I can do is I can select this, go to the table option and click on split cells. So I am splitting these cells. Now how many do you want to split it into? I want to split it into two. Suppose I want to split it into three, that is mobile and line on any other office number, something like that, I can do that. But as of now I want to split it into two cells and I want to split it vertically like this and say okay. Now see, my cell has got split into two parts vertically. So this way I can split the cells. Or example, I want to split something like this address here. I want to split this cells into two. Then I can again do that here. Table, split the cells. This time I want to split it horizontally into, let's take 4 parts. So the same cell gets split up into 2. So this way I can split and merge now. Now once I split the cells, if I want to merge it again, I can again go back to table and merge the cells back again. I selected it, again go to the table, merge cells. So all my cells have got merged back again. Here again I am selecting it, table, merge the cells. So all the lines in between have gone and it has got merged into one entire block. So again I want to split it. Let's take, I want to split it horizontally into 4. So I go back to the table, split the cells, and this time I want to set it horizontally into 4 parts, and vertically if I want to split it again, I can split it once again, table, split, and this time vertically into 2. Again I split it back into this. Here again I want to merge these two. Again table and this way I can keep on merging and splitting the cells according to my wish. However I want to, I can select that particular cells, either split it into the number of columns and rows or merge it into a single cell. So this is called as splitting and merging of cells. Now let us understand how to split an entire table. Okay, so splitting a table into 2 parts, that is the next topic which we are going to do. So let me just undo all this what I have done so that I need not copy this again. Yeah, so now I have come back to my original table which I had. Now here I want to split this particular table into 2 parts. So wherever I want to split it, I keep my cursor there and I click on table and click on split table. Now they are asking me whether you want to copy the headings. As of now I don't want to copy. I'll say no need of copying the headings, but still it gets split into 2 parts. Now my table has got split into, if I say copy headings, then my copy name, address, etc. which is there on the top will also get copied again over here. You want to see that? We can do that, but let me first show you how to. Now that I have split this table, I am just selecting it, and for your understanding I am just giving it another color. Now I want to merge the 2 tables. Once I want to, now you learned how to split the tables. Suppose if I want, I'll say I'm inserting few more rows here. Yeah. Now I want to merge back this table once again to this table. Now what do? Whenever I click on a split table, there is a paragraph gap which comes over here on this edge. Click here and press the delete key, not the backspace key. Press the delete key. Now it will look like as if the whole table has got merged, but actually when you try to select this, now see, when I'm selecting this column, only this is getting selected, or if I only select this, then only these 2. That means the 2 tables are still not merged. Now if I want to merge the table, click my cursor, table, and merge the table. Now the 2 tables have actually got merged, and when I select any particular column, see here, the whole table has got merged into one, and that is why the entire column gets selected. So this is what is called as merging and splitting of tables. Once again, I click here, I say table, split the table, and this time I want to copy the headings. Here the table gets split and the heading has got copied over here. So this is called as merging of table. Again, I am going to delete the space, table, and merge the tables. Then the two tables have actually physically got merged. So whatever I do on one table, it gets applicable to the entire table. So this is how we can split a table and merge a table, and split cells and merge the cells through this particular option. We can also do it from here. This option of splitting cells can be done from here also in this particular splitting and merging cells. Here again, I want to merge this much. I will click here and click on the merge cells. It will take me to this, and again split cells. I can select it and split the cells, and it will ask me how many you want to split it, horizontally or vertically. Let us take, I am saying I want to split it into 5 and horizontally. So it gets split like this. So this way I can do both these operations.
A very important part of working with a document is the final printing of the document. So once I've completed all my formatting or inserting of the different objects, and also setting up of the pages, page layouts, etc., and once my entire document is ready, I need to actually print it or physically on a paper or save it as a PDF format. So let us look at all the different options available to print a document. So we can print a document using the file menu. Click on the file menu and the print option, or also press on the Ctrl+P, which is the shortcut key. But before we actually print a document, it is always good to check whether all your documents are prepared to be printed, and with the help of the print preview, we will be actually able to see a preview of how your document would actually look like when it is printed. So a print preview is the best method of doing before we actually take a printout. So let us understand the different options available under the print menu.
Now let us see how to print a document. Now here I have got this document where I have inserted a header and these two tables. There is a footer which contains the page number and the total number of pages. I have increased the pages and I have put a few of the drawing toolbar items, that is the font work and some call outs, etc. And in the third page I have inserted a picture. So all the three pages have got the header and the footer. Now if I want to see a preview of, before I print, it is always good to see the preview. So I click on page preview on file option and it will show me here. Now if I reduce or increase I will be able to see the three pages which I have. Suppose I am reducing it, again I will reduce it, I can get to see the preview in 3 pages, 2 pages, multiple pages. All this I can do it with the help of here. I can increase and decrease I can scroll up and down and see the print preview of how it is going to actually be printed. So here you can see the header and the footers are also displayed. I can zoom it from here. Now I can close the preview. And finally, now I will go back to the printing of the document. How do I actually print the document? For that purpose, I can either press Ctrl+P, the shortcut key, or simply click on File and Print. Now a dialog box will open up which will ask me that it will also show me the preview over here, and I can just keep on scrolling over here to see the 3 different pages. Suppose as of now I have only 3, so I'll be able to see only the 3 pages. Now here, print to PDF. If I want, I don't have a printer, I can print to a PDF file also. I can save it as a PDF print file, or a writer, or any of these options. Or if I have got a printer which is actually attached to my computer, then I'll get to see the printer which is attached. Now what about printing? Now the range and copy, this is very important. If I click on all means all the pages of the document gets printed. So all the 3 pages get printed. Now here if I want only a specific page, so I want only page number 3. So if I click on page number 3, only page number 3 gets printed. Now if I want to print only page number 2 and 3, Or suppose I've got multiple, suppose 20 pages, but I don't want to print all the 20 pages. I want to print only page number 2, comma, page number 3, comma, and here if I've got a document of 7 pages or 10 pages, then I want the 7th page, comma, and the 9th page. So this way, in our document as of now we have got only 3, so I'll not be able to see. Otherwise you can separate the pages with the help of comma. So this is the method. Now suppose if I want to print only page numbers, suppose 4 to 10, that is consecutive pages, so I can say 4 hyphen say 10. So out of the 20 pages it will print only page numbers 4 to 10. So this way I can do the selection. If I click on selection, then only a particular selected text gets printed. But if I want only a selection, I want only a particular part to be printed, then I can click on the selection and select only that part, and that much gets printed. So this is the way to, these are the range and how you can print. Now if print in reverse order means it will print the pages in the reverse page order. This is the checkbox for that. Now number of copies. Number, by default only one copy of the entire document gets printed, but suppose you want to circulate this document among 15 people or 20 people, then you can just click on the number of copies and automatically that many copies of the same document gets printed. Once all the settings are done, then you can simply click on the print button and the document gets printed. Either in the PDF form it gets saved, or you can directly give the output to the printer. So these are basically the options which are for printing a document.